Training today we're diving into 12 different credit lines that you can get right now to beat inflation, fund your business, and prepare for what many experts predict could be an impending recession ahead. So you've got to be financially prepared, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. Is we're going to make sure that you are financially prepared by giving you 12, let's say, plus credit lines. Anybody that knows me knows I have a tendency to underpromise and overdeliver. So I assure you we will be looking at well more than just 12 credit lines that you can get today. So what we're going to cover 12 credit lines you can get even if you have bad credit. We're going to talk about solutions. We're going to talk about solutions if you're a brand new business, even if you're just thinking about launching a business. We're going to talk about solutions that will work if you don't have good revenue or you just can't verify your revenue. We're going to talk about credit lines you can get. We're going to talk about credit lines you can get if you've been denied, even if you don't think there's any chance of getting approved. We're going to talk about solutions that can work for you if you don't have collateral. We're still going to talk about ways that you can get money. So even if you have the barriers that are preventing you from getting most kinds of credit and financing, we're going to talk about solutions. I'm going to decode them today, and you're going to be able to start getting approved like by the end of this training. I'm going to give you the insider info you need to get approved, what these products are, how they work, approval requirements, all those type of things. So you know exactly what it is to be able to get approved for the most amount of money at the best terms. It's not just enough for me to tell you about credit lines you can get approved for. I want to get you the highest approval amounts. I want to get you the lowest interest rates, the best terms. So these are credit lines that can help you navigate even the worst circumstances, even if the economy shifts. So are you in the right place? Well, if you're looking to get money to start or grow your business, that's exactly what we're going to be diving into. We're going to talk about how to get very high limit accounts. We're going to talk about how you can even get these high limit approvals even if you have challenged credit. We're going to talk about how to get the money the easiest and fastest way. We're going to talk about credit lines today you literally can get today and fund today. I mean, same day approvals because of things like artificial intelligence that's making it easier than ever to be able to secure these kind of credit lines. And if you're looking for the secret formula to getting approved for credit lines from alternative lenders, even SBA, we're going to talk about that today as well, because SBA is like the coveted prize for us business owners. They're the ones that give us the most money and the best terms. We're going to talk about alternate SBA. We're going to talk about SBA. We're going to talk about using it to fund your business, for acquisition to buy other businesses. Remember, when inflation happens, when recessions happen, when the economy changes, there's all kinds of opportunities. You and I have seen it before, right? We've seen that the economy shifts 2008 and all these people came out of it and they just crushed it. And every time the economy changes, there are people that are really big winners. And those big winners are prepared to take advantage of opportunities. We're going to talk about how to do that and how you can even tap into financing, including SBA, to spend very little money down to acquire businesses. I'm even going to talk to you about how to get the little bit of money you need down through other sources. So you can come in and acquire businesses with zero money down. I'm even going to give you examples of how to make that work so you can take advantage of shifts in the economy. And if you stick around to the end, well, I think you should be rewarded, because we're going to be here for, 60, 90 minutes, making sure that everybody's questions are answered. So you're going to get a playback of this event if you are staying to the end. We're also going to give you a fundability assessment that includes 30 days of free credit monitoring with Experian, with Dun & Bradstreet, with Equifax. This usually costs you about $250 with the bureaus. And we're also going to do an assessment to look at your fundability, fix the stuff that's wrong to make you more fundable. We're going to talk about everything you need to access business credit reports at no cost. We'll give you tips and tactics to improve those. And we'll also do a funding qualification. We'll tell you all the money you can get right now. Look, we're just talking credit lines today. We're not even talking loans. So there are tens of, not 100 plus different types of funding products you can get. We worked over 1,000 different lenders. So remember, there's a lot of money outside of credit lines that we're talking about today that you're going to be able to get. And we are going to talk about that on a funding qualification call. So all of this is free. I'm going to talk to you about how to get it if you're sticking around at the end of this training. Now, for those that don't know me, well, let me properly introduce myself. My name is Ty Crandall. I've got over 20 years of financial experience. I speak about this worldwide. Okay, my summer when Everybody's on vacation. I will be in Las Vegas. I will be in Miami. I will be many other places talking about business credit. I'm an authority, so I talk about what I'm going to teach today all over the world. I also am the author of 2 of the best-selling books on consumer and commercial credit, Perfect Credit and Business Credit Decoded. And I'm also an authority on all kinds of news stations, podcasts, radio, TV. I've been featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, amongst many other places, business.com, all over. Okay, just last 2 months, I've been on TV interviews everywhere from Las Vegas to, I think, Kentucky. Okay, so when the media has changes, and there's some big changes I'm going to teach you about today. As a matter of fact, you're going to be the very first ones to know. My data team knows. The internal credit suite team knows, and now you will be the first ones to know before our actual release on this topic even goes live about a big shift that's taking place in the business credit industry. And meaning that we have this information is why we're featured in all these kind of places. And I also oversee the largest partner division in the United States at Credit Suite. So what that means is it means that if you look at all the loan brokers that exist, okay, we have the largest amount of loan brokers that we train, put in the space, deploy, and we handle their credit and financing. Now, a little bit about Credit Suite is that we've helped over 48,000 business owners at this point through this process. This is why I'm telling you all this. I'm not trying to pat my back or the company's back. I just want you to know I'm not some overnight guru who threw up a TikTok channel and all of a sudden is talking about how I got a car without a personal guarantee. We've helped nearly 50,000 people through this process. You will not find anybody that has more experience with getting financing and building business credit than we have. And I just tell you that just so you know that I have the authority to even present this information to you today. Ranked one of the best entrepreneurial companies in America by Entrepreneur Magazine in 2018. Inc. 5000 list in 2019, 2020, 2021 hasn't been released yet, but I feel confident we'll be on there as well. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, hundreds of positive reviews online, hundreds of actual video testimonials as well, and real results for what I'm going to talk to you about today. And again, the company itself has been featured all over the place, from podcast, radio shows, TV shows. I only tell you this stuff just so you know, like I said, I'm not some overnight guru that did this for me. And I'm like, here's what worked for me. That'll get you in trouble. You've got to be able to know from massive amounts of experience the credit lines you can get, what worked for you, business credit we're going to be tying in and talking about all that stuff today. Now, one housekeeping item I want to say is I got a lot of people here. We're going to have a lot of people live. I've got a lot of people on the webinar as well. And a lot of you are going to be asking questions. So when you ask questions, I'm not going to be answering them through the stream, because if I did, we'd be going hours and hours and hours. What I am going to do, and I'm going to promise you, is I will stay to the end until all these questions are answered. So just be patient, hang out, and I will make sure that your questions are answered at the end of the training today. So look, let's address the elephant in the room. Most people fail to get the money they need to grow their business. They fail especially on their quest to get credit lines. And this is because a lot of people go to their own bank when they need money. And the problem is your bank is one of the worst places you can go unless you're a very well-established business. Look, I instruct a lot of my friends and business owners to go to their bank when they tell me what their scenario is. But most of you watching this, you're not there yet. Or you don't have some things that you're going to need to get approved with your bank. So it's not the best place to go to get money. Today, we're going to decode the places that are. Many people don't realize that all these funding options even exist. The reason you're here is because I promise you, you're going to learn about credit lines today that you didn't even have any idea even existed today. So most people don't know all this funding is out there. They don't know what kind of funding or where to go to get it to be able to get approved. Most people don't even know that business credit exists, that you could get an EIN number and have your business fund itself, regardless of personal credit quality in many cases. Many entrepreneurs don't know that money's available based on your business strengths. We're really going to dive into this today, because there's 3 main strengths that lenders will lend on. You only need 1 to get approved, unlike SBA loans and bank loans that need 3. We're going to talk about a lot of options that only need 1. We're even going to talk about options if you have no strengths. bad credit, just get your business off the ground, you don't have collateral, I'm still going to talk to you about solutions that will work in those cases as well. So let's address the second elephant in the room, inflation. The Federal Reserve says a 2% core inflation rate is needed to maintain a healthy economy, and the unadjusted U.S. inflation rate increased 1.2% in March alone, pushing the year-over inflation to 8.5%. Wow. I mean, that's more than 4.5 times the amount that is what is really needed to be able to have a healthy economy. The highest rate that we've seen in 40 years, 4 decades, and during inflation, prices rise, sometimes dramatically, right? So if we look at this, over the last 12 months, used car prices have increased by 35% on average. That's insane. Gas prices, 18.3% spiked in March alone of this year. And according to CNBC, as of April last month, households are spending an extra $327 a month due to inflation. I have team members that are telling me that their expenses have gone up by over $600 a month. So let's just acknowledge it. Inflation is really a big deal, and we're all being adversely affected by it. Okay, interest rates remain low if inflation expectations consistently stay below the target rate, but they're not. They're well above the target rate. So the result is the Fed announced on March of 2022 that it would raise interest rates for the first time since 2018. The federal fund rate was increased by 25 basis points, raising the target range from 0 to 25 basis points to 25 to 50 basis points in response to raising inflation. And guess what? We're just getting started. The Fed also estimated they're going to have 7 rate hikes this and next year. 7. We went from not having any in like a decade to now 7 increases to interest rates as a result of the inflation. That's why we're talking about it. Because what happens is you got a time now to get in when interest rates are lower, and it guaranteed without a doubt you are going to see them substantially increase in the years to come. So we got to get you the money you need before the rates skyrocket to be able to navigate what we all anticipate is going to be a potential recession ahead, okay? And I have went through 2008. For those that don't know my story, I lost it all. I owned a mortgage business. When the mortgage crisis occurred, they shut off my credit lines, took away my credit limits. They cleaned out my bank accounts because I personally guaranteed my debts. I literally was trying to pass bad checks just to pay my electric bill. Okay, it was worst time of my entire life. And that's why I'm here today, because I spent that decade since learning what causes and the signs of a recession, and bam, 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 green light, check, they're all there. So everybody I know and everything I've studied for a long time is pointing to the fact that it's going to happen. And when that goes on, we don't know what's going to happen. Are sales going to go up? Are sales going to be down? Consumers lose confidence. They hoard their money. So we got to make sure you're prepared, because the number 1 and 2 reasons for business failures all revolve around the same thing. Business owners don't have the money to navigate the unexpected. I don't want that to happen to you. It happened to me. Okay, I lost everything personal and business-wise because I wasn't prepared. I dedicated my life since to making sure you don't make that same mistake. So we are going to fix this today. We're going to get you the money now before rates increase. So if the economy does change, as many predict it will, then you are prepared financially for that to happen, because that's the key. You've got to act now before prices continue to go up with higher inflation, which they will, and before we get into that R word recession where you really need the money because you got to anticipate the unexpected. So when we talk about business credit lines, we're talking about a line of credit. Okay, it's an agreement between a financial institution and private investor, or basically bank or community establishment, that establishes a maximum loan balance that a borrower can access. Credit lines provide many unique advantages to borrowers, including flexibility. Look, the number 1 most requested type of financing I see is credit lines. People want revolving credit, and they want it because of the flexibility it gives them. So when we look at revolving credit, we look at the fact that you've got a limit and you can borrow money up to that limit. You could pay it off and use it again and reuse it, reuse it, reuse it. So a loan, the minute you get the money, you got to spend it and make it work for you because you have payments that you have to pay. But credit lines, they give you revolving credit gives you the flexibility to be able to spend money when you need it and then pay it off and not pay any interest between. It's why it's the number one requested kind of product that business owners have. When business owners want money, you want credit lines because they provide the maximum benefit, they provide the maximum flexibility. So this is exactly why they're the number one requested product out there. Now, credit lines are typically unsecured and revolving, similar to business credit cards. As a matter of fact, a lot of people ask me, like, what is the difference? And the truth is, there really is very little difference. Credit cards, the best benefit of them is that when you get them, you can oftentimes get incentives like 0% interest for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Credit lines, the benefit is that you can borrow, take cash out of those without paying a hefty cash advance fee like you do with credit lines. We're even going to talk about hybrid products today that give you the benefit of both. So credit cards and credit lines are very similar except for the cash out component. And let's be honest, you don't need cash out for very many things. There's not a lot of stuff that you can't use a Visa or MasterCard for. We've even paid our ad spend from Facebook upwards of 7 figures a year on credit cards. So very similar. The credit lines are mostly common requested, but in a lot of cases, credit cards can work for you as well. So even though they're very popular, they're also the hardest to qualify for. Wah, wah, wah. Don't worry, we're going to fix that today. But it is true. Credit lines are the hardest to be able to qualify for. They're harder than credit cards. They're harder than loans. So we've got this dichotomy where we want them and they're really hard to get. And that's why we're here today, to be able to bridge that gap and to be able to make sure that you can get the credit lines, okay, even if you've struggled before to get approved. And again, there are other credit cards and lines that a lot of people just don't even know about. And that's why we have an entire team that hunts them down and brings them to you, which is exactly what we're diving into today. So now that we've talked about the background, let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about 12 plus credit lines that you can get for your business. And don't forget, if you're just coming in, I'll get to your questions. It's just we got a lot to cover today. So I will get to your questions and I'll make sure I get to them in the end. So I'm going to start with my personal favorite of all of them. It's called Credit Line Hybrid. And it's basically a type of unsecured funding where you get way better terms than you're going to get with a loan. And you get some of the highest approval amounts that I've seen, especially for startup businesses. Of all the type of funding I've ever worked with, this has the highest approvals I've ever seen for business owners that start businesses, but it's really good for those people that are looking to guarantee or grow your business as well. Now, what I like about this is a lot of things. First of all, you get 0% financing for 6 to 18 months. So if you're going to use the money to be able to buy something that's going to make you money, which most of us do as entrepreneurs, then you've got this large period of time where you can pay 0% and have very low payments while you're able to go out, invest the money, buy whatever it is you're going to buy, get it working for you to producing income, and then actually come in and start making higher payments when that 0% expires. Man, this is popular. It's really popular with real estate investors because they're able to buy properties with it. It's really popular for startups that launch businesses and keep their payments really low to be able to then get the business generating revenue before their interest goes up. And it's really popular for entrepreneurs that are looking to invest the money into something and know they're going to have a delay in the rate of return and need to keep their payments low during that. An example is deploying an advertising campaign. So let's say you want to scale your business and don't want to just build your business on referrals. You've seen the unpredictability of trying to build a business based on referrals, and you don't want this. You want woo instead. Well, then you go to scalable advertising. We look at Google Ads. We look at Facebook. We look at Bing and Gmail ads, and there's so many different kinds. But these usually you got to lag between when you spend the money and figure out what works and get a return. So that's one example of where something like this works, where you can come in, keep your payments very low with 0% while you're actually making it work, making money, and then your payments go up as whatever it is you're doing is producing money. A lot of these credit lines report to the Business Credit Reporting Agency, so you're building business credit as well at the exact same time, and you're able to get this and use this product to build business credit to get away from a lot of personal guarantees in cases. Now, you don't need financials. You can get approved for up to about 150 grand. You could take the cash out at 0%. It's a hybrid. Remember, it's what I mentioned. It's the best of both worlds, the best of credit cards with 0%, the best of credit lines where you could take cash out. You combine it to a monster product that has some major benefits because you could take the cash out at 0%. Again, one of many reasons it's so popular for real estate investors. It's no doc, no bank statements, no financials, no tax returns. You don't need any of those kind of things in order to get approved. All you need is good credit for you or a guarantor. So you need about a 680, 700 FICO score. You need to have low inquiries in the last 6 months. We've got funding sources that will help you with unauthorized inquiry removal to be able to get approved. You really should have utilization lower than 40%. The lower the utilization, oftentimes the higher the approvals. We've got bridge loans available through funding sources that will pay off your existing credit cards, lower your utilization so you can get higher approvals as part of this product as well. And so really beneficial. And if you don't have good credit, you can use a credit partner that does. As a matter of fact, half of our clients that get this program, they use somebody else's credit, not their own. It's a family member, it's a friend, it's a potential investor. I'll use this example. I'll revert back to it. But an example is if I go to my dad and get money to start a business, my dad would give me that money. He knows I'm good for it. But the reality is my dad would have to sell his stocks, pay penalties, lose the interest to give me that benefit. But he can use this program, just use his credit, help me get the credit lines. And then his personal credit, a lot of them report to the business credit reporting agency. So his personal credit's not adversely affected. I'm building business credit and get the money that I need. Now, might not be my dad. It might be a friend. It might be a potential investor. Okay, I have a lot of people around me that are looking for ways to invest the money into things where they're going to get a good rate of return. And if I'm launching a business, and I assure you that if I go to my friends and say, hey, look, I'm launching a new business, do you want in? They will stand in line because they know how I am and they know how much I put into an endeavor, and they have a pretty good belief as I would that what I would launch would be successful. So family member, friends, potential investors, any of this can be guarantors on this program as well. So again, a lot of benefits by actually being able to come in and access Credit Line Hybrid. Now, here's a great case study of what happens when you use this program. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to explain to you this really cool growth that these guys have experienced using this exact same program. So here's some though. My business is Dragon Gym, martial arts studio that was founded in 1973 by my instructor, Diego, and took over my partner, Lonnie, and I 10 years ago. About a year and a half ago, my partner and I decided within 18 months, we were going to open our second location. We got connected with Credit Suite. We were able to accelerate our timeline and open this location in 6 months instead of 18. Getting the financing meant that we could start fulfilling our dream of having 10 or more locations across the country. Now, here's the updated version of Sam. Not only did he open that second location in 18 months, but in nearly 18 months, he opened a third location. So he wanted to double it. He tripled what he did. And they currently right now are looking at 2 or more locations. So they are in process using this exact same product. What they did was launch a new gym, make the gym profitable in 90 days, paid off the Credit Line Hybrid, bam, went and bought another and set up another one, did the same thing. They did that with 3. Now they're getting 4, 5, and upwards of 7 total locations. Then COVID hit. You don't want to be in the gym business or martial arts when COVID hits, right? There's no 6-foot social distancing happening there. So they opened an online curriculum using this program as well, navigated the crisis, and now they have an online following as well as having all these gyms that are opening. That's the power of what a program like Credit Line Hybrid could do, or a lot of these credit lines really we're going to be diving into today. So let's dive into here's one more case study example as well. These guys got $61,000 in these business credit lines, and they were able to do all kinds of stuff to help them grow faster as well. So number 11, let's talk about cash flow financing credit lines. So merchant cash advances have quickly become the most popular type of financing that's out there. Nowadays, over 90% of funding comes from alternative lenders than it does from SBA. And back like in the day, you had to go to a bank and qualify. That's not the case anymore. Okay, really over the last 2 decades, we've now seen the massive shift where 90% of financing came from banks. Now 90% of financing comes from alternative lenders. And what's the most popular product of them all is called cash flow financing or merchant cash advances. Now, with this kind of financing, you're basically just using the fact that you have consistent cash flow as leverage to be able to get money. Collateral doesn't matter, it's unsecured. And credit doesn't matter. We've got lenders that don't have any credit score requirements. Most lenders in the space have 500 FICO score requirements, really small minimum requirements. So again, you're able to come in and be able to use the fact that you have consistent cash flow of about $50,000 a year or $5,000 a month. You're able to get qualified for a lot of this kind of financing. And it's not just loans, it's actually credit lines. So a lot of sources now are offering credit lines as well as what you consider to be a loan, but it's not really a loan. With cash flow financing and merchant cash advances, you're basically selling future revenue for a discount, but let's just call it a loan. So you're getting loans, and you also have credit line options now where you can actually get credit lines, not only even just for first position, but second, third position. That means not only can you come in and get one of these kind of things, we've got lenders who once you get one, they want to give you a second one, and lenders that want to give you a third as well. So there are people in first, second, and third position that will give you money here. And again, what I mean by that is first, second, third position is that, hey, somebody gives you a credit line, then somebody else gives you one right behind it. That's second position. Then somebody else gives you one right behind that one. That's third position. So there's first, second, third position credit lines you can get just because you have $4 or $5,000 a month of consistent cash flow. So I love this because it's super easy to get. You can get the money within 72 hours or less. Your personal credit's not a factor, and they don't care about collateral as well. So like I said, a lot of lenders as low as 500 credit scores will be able to get you approved. Fintech credit lines, these were my favorite in 2020. I loved these when they rolled out. With these, you can actually get upwards of 150,000 now, even though this says 100,000. And two of the most common of them are Blue Vine and Fundbox. Now, you can go to creditsuite.com/fundbox to actually get approved. But I love these things because they use AI. So what happens is it used to be that if I want to get a credit line, I got to supply my bank statements and blah, 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 blah. And this is a nightmare. I got to go scan the stuff, and then I got to send it in, and that slows everything down. Then an underwriter's got to look through the pages, and they got to make sure they're all not fraudulent. That's what people do. They fraudulate bank statements, and they got to go through it's a blah, blah, blah. It's a nightmare. So now with fintech, what happens is they use AI. They plug right into your bank account. The bank account, the AI does the underwriting automatically after it plugs into your bank account, and you get near instantaneous approvals. I mean, approvals within an hour, funding shortly after. So these are same-day funding sources. A lot of our clients go in the morning and apply, and they're approved, and they get the credit line later that day. Let me give you some real examples. We have a $100,000 credit line with this. When COVID hit, we stopped spending through our bank. We're like, we don't know what's going to happen. Moved everything to our credit line, and we started spending things there until things got stable. Then we paid off the credit line. A buddy of mine was in credit repair and came to me and said, I need a $30,000 loan. I'm good to pay it off within the month. Can you get me one of those merchant cash advances? I said, I could, but I won't because they're expensive, and I don't think it's the right thing for you. I think I can get you a credit line that's way cheaper instead. So we went in and we got him a credit line. The first approvals are pretty small, less than 10 grand, 3 grand, 6 grand. Then he supplied his tax returns. Then he got approved upwards of nearly $40,000. Used the credit line to buy what he was buying, paid it off. And you know how much interest he paid? 1%. So you can get this for 0.5% for every week the money's outstanding. So that means if you're only borrowing money for a short period of time, you could pay very little interest. Like if I borrowed the money today, bought something and paid it off in a week, I'd only pay 0.5% interest on these credit lines. So really affordable, especially if you're using it for short-term purchases. So a lot of things I really love about these fintech credit lines. They'll give you 12 or 24 months to pay back, depending on the source, and the available replenishes as you pay. So you pay it down, you can reuse it. There's no penalty to pay it off early. All you really have to have is a U.S.-based business, and you need to be managing your bank account responsibly. Okay, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that banks want to make sure that you're managing your bank account responsibly, and they look at maybe 3, 4, 5 factors for that. They want to see you have more money going in than coming out. That's called positive cash flow. They want to make sure you have a positive ending bank balance at the end of the month. They want to make sure that you have a lot of transactions going in, not just one or two like real estate agents have. And they want to make sure you don't have a bunch of non-sufficient funds or NSFs. If you have those, if you meet that criteria, you're managing your bank account responsibly, you're typically going to get approved. Now, some sources like Bluevine want you to have like a 500 plus credit score, but a lot of them like Fundbox, you don't even have to have 100 grand or 600 credit scores. If you're in business about 6 months, you're actually able to come in and have consistent cash flow, 5,000 plus a month. You're managing the bank account responsibly. Chances are pretty good you're going to get approved. Now, here's a great case study relating to these kind of credit lines. Dr. Brandon originally approached us to get 417 grand to pay off a tax lien. Okay, he was actually in the process of closing his practice. He didn't call us to get money. He called one of our partners to ask, how do I shut down a business? And they're like, why? Like, look at him on the left. Dude is so happy at OBGYN. He loves what he does. And here's a guy that gets in trouble with the IRS, going to shut down his entire practice as a result of it. And then what happens is he got credit issues. You go to his bank says, no way, it ain't going to happen. And what happened was we got him the 417 and kept going, because what we did was called stacking. We stacked funding programs. So we took the cash flow financing. Then we brought in credit line hybrid. Then we brought in some AI financing, SBA. We stacked them to get all this money. He ended up getting 1.52, like over 1.5 million in total money. He kept his practice open. He paid off the IRS. He opened a second practice, and he actually ran for public office in his state as well. Here's a guy that was shutting down his business and then whoop, completely different direction, right? And that all is because he stacked funding programs and tied in to things like we're talking about now, including AI financing. And at the end of this training, I want to talk to you about how you can stack these funding programs to be able to get even more money, because that really is the key. When you can stack the funding programs, that's when you really start getting a ton of money for your business. Let's talk about SBA credit lines. Okay, look, here's the deal. This is the epitome of what we all want to get. So I'm going to show you about 4 or 5 of the most common SBA credit lines. And what I want you to keep in mind is 1 of 2 things. First of all, well, one of many things, but first of all, these credit lines work if you're a well-established business. You have to show that you've got cash flow, tax returns. You've got to have better personal credit. And you also need to have collateral, account receivables, equipment, inventory, something like that. Something in your business that's worth money, like letting your customers pay you on terms is the most common collateral used for SBA. But the reason that these have to be discussed is that even if you can't get this now, you need to know what it does take to get them, because this is what you really want. This is where the rubber meets the road. These are the best kind of credit lines you're going to get. And they also insure 90% of the loans. So SBA insures 90% of the loans when you actually come in and get approved. So the nice thing about that is that banks can lend you money with really good terms because SBA is taking the risk. Now, they have 4 of these kind of credit lines. We're going to dive into them all right now. They're called CAP lines. That's the umbrella program that houses their credit lines. You can get approvals up to $5 million, but if you're trying to get $350,000 or less, pretty easy to get approved. Like, we got our credit line in less than 30 days with SBA because we're staying less than 350 grand. And now the EIDL is winding down. EIDL's done, I think, last week, this week. Okay, and of course, PPP was done a while ago. Now SBA's got all this time freed up to make these approvals even faster. And of course, if you are a veteran or many other categories, then they can even give you expedited loan approvals and even waive a lot of the fees as well. So what does it take to get approved? Well, you're going to need to have established business credit. Don't worry, I'm going to talk to you about how to get that as we move on with this training. You need to have good personal credit. If you have any dings on your personal credit, I know you probably do because you're an entrepreneur and we're risk takers. So our credit gets all banged up. You might want to get some of that looked at before you get into this as well. They're going to want you to have 3 years worth of tax returns. You're going to have to show consistent revenue. You're going to have to supply some kind of collateral. But if you have it, then you're typically able to get approved for any of these, one of which is called a seasonal line. And it's basically just designed for seasonal businesses. So a lot of businesses do really good during one part of the season, and then they slow down in another part of the season. A lot of seasonal businesses. Florida, we don't have a lot of that, right? Because it's pretty nice. But air conditioning is an example down here. We don't have a lot of air conditioning repair happening during the colder months, during the the winter time. Okay, if you go over to Utah, where I take my kids skiing, well, then, there they don't have a lot of action in the summertime, right? They slow down when all the snow melts. So seasonal credit lines, really good to helping you get through seasonal times in your business. Contract lines are available to eligible small businesses that need funding to execute their working contracts. So it can cover supplies, labor, materials. Really popular with construction type companies where you're able to get lines of credit as a contractor to cover a lot of your stuff, because you might have to build a house. And they're not going to get paid until they sell the house. So you could have weeks or months before you get paid. And this covers that gap. You're also able to get a builder's line, which is specifically for people building homes, commercial, residential construction. And you're also able to get a working line. And the working line is like a working line of credit. It's a 7A credit line, right? And 7A have loans and credit lines. And here's why you need to know about this. Because when we talk about these 7As, these are used for general purposes. I can use it for anything I want to. I mean, like, for the business, of course. So I can use it for just general stuff. I could pay payroll. I could launch marketing campaigns. I could expand. But I can also use them to buy new businesses. And right now, over the last 2 years, that is the hottest trend I've seen. Is business owners are like, whew, it's a lot of work to build this thing. Why don't I just have somebody else do all the work, and then I'll just buy it from them? And if you're smart, you can buy another business with little to zero down. Here's how you do it. You use an SBA 7A credit line like this, or a loan. You come in and get up to 90% of the purchase price from that. Then the 10% can come from, any of the other programs we're talking about. Bam, bam. That's how we stack funding. So that means you can come in and get 90% of your purchase to buy a business covered, and then you can get the other 10% from credit line hybrid, from cash flow financing, from a seller-held financing, which they're almost always willing to do. Any number of ways to do it. Now you're getting money with no money down. Does that happen? Yeah, happens all the time. Roland Frazier is one of the biggest trainers in this space. I help all of his students come in and get the funding they need for their acquisitions. And I see them buy a lot of stuff. So a lot of those guys are out there buying businesses. And I've got a lot of people in my circle that do it at Credit Suite. Me personally, I'm always looking for opportunities. And over the next couple of years, we're going to make a lot of acquisitions as well. One of my buddies just bought a huge reputation company. It's now doing like $3 million a year in revenue, spitting off all kinds of cash because of the investment that they made to grow the business. So a lot of opportunity here to buy businesses. And if we do go into a recession, that is the best time. People start having fire sales for their businesses, giving you the ability to come in and grab one of them. So even if you don't qualify for SBA now you know collateral cash flow credit, what you need to work on to get in a position where when these fire sales start occurring, you're there. The opportunities are there. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Kylan and a little bit about what this actually did for him. So, quote, I believe the Business Finance Suite is the first step-by-step, paint-by-number system securing anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000 in business credit. There are reports on your business credit reports that helps you separate personal and business credit. But like most, you have access to coaches that will take your hand, walk you through the system, and answer specific questions you may have related to your business. Amazing opportunity for business owners. The reason I read this to you is that Kylan was a guy that was a gym teacher, and he wanted out. He didn't want to teach gym anymore. I don't know why. To me, that seems like a lot of fun. And I'd be really strong because I climb the rope all day. But that's a whole other story. ADD, don't mind me. Okay, but that being said, okay, he wanted out. So he got into offering business credit financing, which is something that we do. We helped him get into that space. And then he built a seven-figure plus business, had coaches all over the country, all over his area, going out to banks, getting their business to come in. And he was able to build this business using this kind of credit line, using these kind of credit lines and using business credit as well. So another success story of a guy that goes from a gym teacher to successful, now what will become multi-million-dollar business owner all because he was able to tap into this credit line and tap into business credit to be able to get him there as well. Okay, so let's talk about alternative SBA credit lines. Maybe you can't qualify for SBA. Well, that's when these alternative lines come in. I still find interest rates are pretty low. SBA, you could typically get 6-7% or lower. Alternative credit lines are usually 8-10% or lower. So very similar to SBA, but you usually only need 1 year tax returns to get approved, and you only need average credit, like 600, 620 credit score. So these are oftentimes offered from private investors instead of banks, and they're just way easier to get than actual SBA loans. SBA loans, the problem with them is that SBA guarantees them and a bank issues them. So you got two qualifications there you got to go through to get approved. Now, once you get it nailed down, like we have it nailed down, then we can come in and get financing pretty quick through SBA system. We got a loan, we got another loan, we just got another loan getting ready for the recession, and we just got a credit line as well. So like I said, we practice what we preach. We see the economy shifting, and we are stocking up on cash. And we're stocking up on cash not to weather the storm, because we want to jump on opportunities. We know there's going to be fire sales. We know there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get in and be able to grab businesses, make acquisitions, make big moves. So we're stocking up on money, as you should be, preparing for an economy to change. But with alternative SBA lines, they're just easier to get. 600, 620 credit scores. You're able to get 1 year tax returns, show some kind of profit. And there's a lot of these private lenders out there or private investors that will be able to give you these kind of loans. So one of my favorite, because you get terms similar to SBA, but way easier to qualify for than SBA financing. Okay, so private lenders, a lot of these have different types of these available. And a lot of these private lenders are more creative and more forgiving than banks, because, banks are like federally insured. They have to be very conservative in their risk. These alternative lenders, they're not conservative with their risk. They actually look at riskier stuff, even risky stuff, because that's where they make their money. So way easier to get than real credit lines. And you can get terms upwards of 36 months, even higher, upwards of 5 to 10 years in a lot of cases. So really like that. Inventory financing, a few different options here. A lot of people have product-based businesses. They stock up on product. One of my buddies, Barat, down here does that. He's got a big old warehouse, and he gets stuff in and trucks, and he sells it all over the place. That's a massive amount of inventory to manage, massive amount of cash to buy the inventory. So think about this from two angles. Either you own this kind of business now, or you may buy one or start one. And this is going to make it easier to do both, because you can actually get the money you need to buy the inventory. You can even get the money you need to borrow against the inventory you already have. So a lot of people, like my buddy, he's not in this position, but he stocks up on this inventory that he doesn't have cash to grow the business. And then in that case, and he's got to come in, he's got to get money, he can use and borrow against the inventory, get a credit line for upwards of 50% of the value of that, and then use that credit line to be able to grow the business. So you can use inventory financing to be able to get the money you need to buy the inventory. You can also borrow against the inventory you already have, 5% to 15% interest rates, funding in 3 weeks or less. Pretty cool. Now, it's not a credit line, but I want to drop a little nugget here, because my favorite funding option that came up in 2021 was something called crowd-based funding for this. So it was basically inventory crowd-based funding. And with this, you basically are able to come in. If you have 150,000 in sales, you basically go onto the platform. They raise the money to buy the inventory, and you never need to buy inventory again. The crowdfunding buys the inventory. You sell the inventory as you sell it. You then pay off the actual credit line. So I just gave you the secret formula to launching or growing any kind of e-commerce business, because now you can stock up on all kinds of products. Okay. And I don't even want to go down that road, but I saw like JetLev, like the water powered jetpack. We were out doing this flyboarding, flying around with like this water thing the other day, like just yesterday we were doing it. It was awesome. And this JetLev thing's $100,000. You could buy the thing on Alibaba for $3,000. Okay, so you might come in and create a whole other business, taking stuff from Alibaba or other places, and then getting the inventory you need to actually sell it. All that costs money. How do you get the money? I just gave you multiple options. I gave you SBA financing to buy a business already doing it. And then if they're doing 150,000 in sales or more, now you can come in and get equity crowdfunding through a source called Kick Further. And Kick Further, or you can just go to creditsuite.com/inventory. And what they will do is actually then get you the crowdfunding for all the inventory you need. So you can scale without limitations because you can get all the money you need to actually be able to come in and scale the business. So pretty cool. I think a pretty good option for you as well. Now, HELOC, house for sellers. Look, a lot of real estate investors here, and I think a lot of people are talking about bubble bursting in the housing market. Things have to change, right? We got skyrocketing prices of homes. We have inflation skyrocketing. People's revenue is not, or people's income is not skyrocketing. So at some point, something's got to shift. And when it does, there's a lot of opportunity to get into real estate investment. I've had several of these guys on my podcast that are smart cookies. Okay, and they're using HELOC, or what's called house reseller program, to be able to do it. You can get 100% of the money you need to be able to buy and rehab properties using these kind of credit lines. So this is a really popular way to be able to come in and get the money you need for real estate investing. Okay, now you can use it on real property. You can get the line of credit, or basically get the money in draws to be able to build the house or buy the house and to be able to fix the house up as well. You don't need to have great credit. 600 type credit scores can do it. You don't need experience to be able to flip houses. All you need is the financing. And this can give you the financing you need to break in to real estate investment. Look, what I hear from people is that they want to get into real estate investment, but they don't know where to get the money. So if that's you, if you have an interest in doing that, well, then now you've got it. Because again, if there is a bubble, if it does burst, I don't know. I'm not an expert in that area. But if it does happen, then you're going to have a chance to buy properties really low. And by the way, okay, one of my friends is exactly what she does. Her entire business is Airbnb. She's in her 30s, retired, lives off Airbnb money. And again, the nice thing is all of her properties are owned free and clear. And now what she's doing is getting HELOCs against bam, against all these properties, stocking up on available cash. So when the market shifts, she can come in and buy stuff low. Okay, so again, the people that I know in the real estate space, it's exactly what they're doing right now. They're stocking up on money, preparing for house prices to fall, so they're in position to buy. And this is a great program, great credit line to be able to do that. Now, more options as well: bridge loans, cash out refinances, permanent bank loans or mortgages, hard money loans, a lot of other kind of funding available for house reseller. But again, HELOCs is one of the most popular options to be able to get in, find the property you want, and actually be able to flip it. Number 2, securities-based lines of credit. I'm actually going to give you 4 options here. I told you I got a bunch of bonuses after you're ticking down to 2 and 1, and then you're like, oh, we're over. No, we're not over. I got a bunch of bonuses behind that. But this one program, I'm going to give you 4 different funding programs right here. Securities-based lines of credit are basically lines of credit that use stocks and bonds as collateral. So it doesn't have to be your stocks and bonds. It could be somebody else's. So go back to my dad as an example. If I go to my dad to get money to start or grow a business, he has to sell his stocks, he pays penalties, he loses the ability to earn interest. But I can go to my dad, have him get a securities-based line of credit against his stocks. Oh, this is so ridiculous. Honestly, this is one of my favorite funding programs because you're double dipping. It's not even fair. I don't even understand how it's legal, legit, but it's 100% legal and legit. Let me tell you what I mean. In my example, or my dad has his money in the stock market. It's earning interest. It's earning him a rate of return. He can use that same stocks, get a line of credit against it, then use it to help me launch my business, right? Or I can do the same thing. I can borrow against my own stocks and bonds, 2 types of financing there. I can then get a credit line and use the money to launch a business. So I got money working for me 2 different ways here. Okay, it's why if you see all these people that say, become your own bank, infinite banking, it's the same premise. What they're doing is they're getting whole life insurance policies that let you borrow against the policy. They get loans against it, then they use the money to reinvest. Okay, it's my number 1 investment strategy. It's where all my money goes. It's how I invest. Put it all in the whole life. I borrow against the whole life. I then use that to be able to get and reinvest that money and get even higher rate of return. And my money doubles every 7 years from using this kind of strategy. This is the same thing. You're double dipping. You got your money in the stock market earning you money. And then over here, that exact same money is now being leveraged to be able to get a credit line. And now we're launching a business. We're growing a business. So the credit line's growing this business, which is making money while the money's sitting in the stock market making money. You're double dipping. The money's working in two different places for you at exactly the same time. I love this. I love it because it's double dipping. I love it because you still earn interest on the stocks and bonds that you have invested. I love it because it's an easy way for you to be able to get money. There's no credit score requirements. They don't care about cash flow. You can get it as a new business. You can get it as a high-risk business. Most kinds of security, stocks, and bonds are accepted. So it's just all kind of noise outside. I was trying to figure out what that was. I thought it was a helicopter buzzing the building, but I don't think it is. I think it's road construction out there. So anyway, again, ADD, it's what happens with us entrepreneurs. So now you've got the money working in two different places for you. Okay. And that's what I really like about securities-based financing. And I like the fact that you can borrow against somebody else's securities as well. It doesn't just have to be you. You can borrow as much as 90% of the value of the stocks and bonds. You still earn interest on the stocks and the bonds. And to give you funding option 3 and 4, you can do the same thing with 401k or IRA. You can also get a loan or a credit line against 401ks and IRAs as well, whether it be you or somebody else. So now we've got stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, 4 different ways we can use collateral of ours or somebody else's to get money. And the somebody else's becomes very important. Because if you really want to succeed in business, you have to think outside of the box and be creative. That's how I do things in financing world as well. So if I go to my buddy and I say, hey, you got stocks and bonds? And they say, yeah, I got like 50 grand invested in stocks and bonds. I say, I'm about ready to launch this business right here. Here's what the deal is. You know me. Sounds like a good plan. What do you think about this? Would you want to make some money off this? And they're like, yeah, I want to make money off it. Well, I can actually tap into your stocks and bonds. You still leave them where they are. You still earn interest. You still get the rate of return. But I get a credit line I use to fund the business, and I'll give you 1%, 2%, 3% ownership business. And now all of a sudden you're getting distributions and equity in this company while your money's working for you in the stock market. That's a heck of an opportunity. And now you're not hitting up family members and friends for help. You're giving them an opportunity to be able to invest into something. So stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, 4 kinds of funding that you can tap in here to be able to get money. And all you really need is $25,000 or more in your stocks and bonds. They review your statements 2-3 weeks. You get funded. Credit doesn't matter. Collateral or cash flow doesn't matter. You don't need any other kind of collateral. And again, 90% against stocks and bonds. And you're able to get interest rates of 5% or lower. And the other thing is that you're also able to come in and be able to get loan or credit line 90% on stocks and bonds and 100% on 401k. So definitely one of my favorite funding programs is out there. Now, number 1, let's talk about business credit cards. Look, I know credit lines and credit cards are a little different. I talked to you in the beginning about the difference, very minor differences. Credit lines and cards, the main difference is you could take cash out of a credit line at like not at 20%, and credit cards oftentimes cost you 20%. But when it comes to revolving credit cards are way easier to get than credit lines. So it's something you want to look at. They're offered by American Express and Chase and Bank of America and Barclays Bank. Capital One has one, even if you have challenged credit. You can oftentimes get these things for $5,000, $10,000, even $50,000 limits. Okay, in my world, I funded my mortgage business with one of these. I got actually a $50,000 card from Bank of America that I used to fund the mortgage business. So again, a lot of benefits here of using business credit cards, something that you really want to think about as well, because they're way easier to get than credit line. So let's talk about some bonuses here. And the bonuses I want to talk about are corporate credit, because a lot of corporate credit you're able to get even if you have some credit issues, even if your credit's bad, or if it's 600, 620, even the ones with personal guarantees only oftentimes need a 600, 620 credit score. You don't need collateral. They're unsecured. You can get them as a startup. You can get them in a high-risk business. You can get them with no cash flow verification. You can basically get this no matter whether you can get any kind of funding or not. And you could use this for the business to fund itself. Just because you have a business means you can get money, and you can get it from day one from starting your business. So bonus 1 here is what's called vendor credit. And these come from starter vendors. Starter vendors are places like Uline and Granger that will give you credit lines to buy the stuff you want and need to grow your business. If you just have a business license, Granger will give you a $2,500 credit line as a brand new startup business. It's absurd. So you can get thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from these startup vendors, regardless of collateral, cash flow, and credit, and be able to start growing the business. Net 15 to net 55 terms, which gives you 15 days to 2 months to actually pay them back. And again, you can get it regardless of any qualification. So even if you can't get any other kind of funding, when you get a handful of those guys on your credit report, then you can move on to what's called retail credit. And retail credit's like credit lines at almost every major retailer. So for example, you can get Staples, Home Depot, Costco, you can get Sam's Club, almost every major retailer, even Nordstrom and Macy's offers this. So this kind of retail credit you can get to fund your business. I mean, these places I'm mentioning sell just about everything we want and need. And why this is important is this. So many business owners make this mistake. They get a loan and they get a credit line and they start buying crap they could have used a credit card for. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Are you crazy? Save the loan, save the credit line for stuff you can't get a credit line for. Don't buy this cameras here. Don't buy these monitors here. Don't buy the keyboard. Don't buy this stuff using credit lines. Go get a credit card at Staples. Go get a credit card at Office Depot. Get one at HP. Get one at Dell. Get one at Apple. And then you can be able to buy all the stuff you need from those places and keep your credit line and keep your loan so you can use those for things like payroll and Facebook ads that you can't use credit cards for. If you use this strategy, you'll find that 80, if not 90% of what you need to buy in your business, you can use this kind of corporate credit to buy. And remember, no cash flow requirements, no credit requirements, no collateral requirements. Anybody can get this. So what I like is that 80, 90% of what you need in a business, now I just gave you a solution to get, and anybody can get it. Then the credit lines, the loans you get, you can use for all the other stuff that you want for growth, like scaling, for ads, stuff like that. So here's an example of some approvals here at $1,200 credit cards here, $3,500, $7,500 Amazon, $1,000 Pilot Flying J. Here's a $1,200 credit line. Here's another one for $10,000 as well. Looks like a Home Depot card. Here's a $100, $3,000 credit cards, or $1,000, $3,000. Here's another one with Sunbelt Rentals approval. Here's a $10,000 approval here. That's a bank credit, which we'll talk about that. That's a Chase credit card. Here's a Valero credit card. Here's a bunch of these kind of credit cards that we're talking about here. You get the idea. If you don't, go to creditsuite.com. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of different approvals that clients and people that are using our system are getting. So go check that out and you can see what I'm talking about. Now, bonus 3 is service credit. And this is basically credit that you can get if you have 5 accounts in your business credit report and you're able to get services that you need. So there are things like Staples that sell products, and there are places like Labor Ready that sells services. So a lot of the services you may need to be able to grow your business, you can get from a lot of different service providers. And with a handful of accounts in your business credit reports, you can get this kind of credit as well. Fleet credit, big shakeup. You're about to be one of the first to know this news. And it is a big deal, really big deal. So there's a big shakeup that just took place last week, and you're going to be some of the first to know about it because it hasn't been publicly announced. You won't find it on Google. You won't find it on YouTube. The only reason I know about this is because Credit Suite has a data team, and our data team calls all of these credit card companies, credit lines. We get their underwriting requirements. We publish them in our business finance suite, and then we help our clients use that information to rapidly build their business credit. Do it quick, right? So this is how we quickly and easily help them build business credit. And what we discovered was that there's a major change here with fleet credit. But first, let me give you an idea what fleet credit is. If you have 8 payment experiences, you can get fuel, repair, maintenance of vehicles, Pilot Flying J, Sunoco, BP, Chevron, some examples. And you can start with this kind of credit with a personal guarantee or deposit, or get it without a personal guarantee. They have net and revolving terms. Now, here's the big news I'm about to tell you. WEX Fleet, the biggest underwriter of fleet cards, has ceased no personal guarantee cards, no longer offering them. So that means 37, let me see, I think I did this away here, 37 different sources that once offered these guys no longer do, including 7-Eleven, 76, Alon, Chevron, Circle K, Citgo, Kinoco, EFS, ExxonMobil, GetGo, Gulffleet, Holiday, Irving, Come and Go, Luke Oil, MapGo, Marathon, Maverick, Meyer, Murphy USA, Quick Check, Quick Trip, Racetrack, Corporate, Royal Farm, Sheets, Shell, Sinclair, Speedway, Super America, Spinks, Stripes, Sunoco, Tesoro, Thornton's, Valero, Wawa, Wex, Global Fleet, CSI. They're no longer offering no personal guarantee credit cards. If you want these, we're hunting down their C-level because of increased business fraud is their reasoning behind it to figure out, is this permanent change? Is it a temporary change? We don't know those things yet. We're trying to figure those out right now. But nearly 40 credit cards are removed from the no personal guarantee world because of that change. So keep that in mind as you're going out for fleet credit. I'm telling you first, because these overnight TikTok gurus don't know this stuff. They ain't going to tell you this stuff. They come to us for the information, and you're the first to see it, so that you'll probably see them report on it after they see this trading. But now you know. So that means, what do you do? Well, if you want fleet credit, I'll talk to you. Our phone number's at the bottom of our slides. Give us a call. We still have a lot of sources that are not underwritten by WEX that still offer no personal guarantee fuel cards where you can use for fuel, repair, maintenance, etc. So we still have a lot of sources that can actually work for you. But again, WEX no longer underwriting these cards. Big change. And by the way, I'm not trying to self-promote, but it's why if you're even thinking about building business credit, you need to work with Credit Suite. Okay, we know this stuff before anybody else because we have a data team that figures it out. We give you the underwriting guidelines so you know you can get approved before you even apply, which is ridiculous. When everybody else doesn't know what to do and they're like, oh my gosh, panic, 40 credit cards are gone with no PG after they learn it from us, then they don't even have a solution where we've got a bunch of other credit cards. We're not even phased because we have so many other fleet credit cards that work without a personal guarantee or credit check. So it's just one of the benefits of working with a company that's number one in the space because we can still help you in this area, even if you're not getting a WEX card, okay? That being said, let's also look at a lot of these different approvals as well. So here's a BP approval. Here's an American Express approval. You can look at $16,000. I don't even know. Well, actually, wait a minute. Did I tell? Oh, wait. Well, here's a bunch of different kind of approvals based on what we're talking about. So American Express, we're able to come in here and get approved for a fuel card right here. Raised the Sam's Club approval to 16 grand, 4,000 pennies, Sam's Club for 3 grand. Here's a FedEx account. Here's a $10,000 approval, $20,000 approval from Amazon here. Axel, 10,000 with Sam's MasterCard. That's cash credit you can use anywhere. Here's another $10,000 approval, Bank America. So it's not all fleet credit, but I'm just dropping some approvals so you see what's possible when you're getting corporate credit. And then that leaves us with bank credit. And this is Visa card, MasterCard, American Express. You can use anywhere. You just saw a bunch of those approvals, the Bank of America, the Citi, the Chase, that kind of stuff. You're able to get the Sam's Club MasterCard. So you're able to get a lot of this kind of credit without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check once you build your business credit. Or, hey, even the stuff that does require a personal guarantee or credit check, way easier to get once you build business credit. Let me give you an example of what's possible by looking at Herman here. Quote, with Credit Suite, with your one-on-one consultant calls you within 24 hours of signing up, call you at least 5 times in the first 2 weeks. And after that, even though it's been several years, I still hear from them. My one-on-one consultant still calls me every Wednesday without fail, and that's absolutely incredible. My favorite line of credit I got using is a $10,000 Amazon card I used to purchase things low and sell high. We talked about that on different marketplaces. It was also a $40,000 Amex credit card. None of my accounts show my personal credit report, so even if I max them out, doesn't hurt me personally. So I was able to purchase 2 properties in Cleveland and Ohio. It's been a blessing. I love you, Herman. And what I love about Herman is it's stereotypical of us entrepreneurs. He's got multiple businesses. He's using corporate credit like Amazon to fund one business. Then he's coming in and getting an Amex and he's liquidating that and using that to buy properties. And he's running multiple businesses simultaneously. But the one thing that's uniform is he's using corporate credit to do it, as you can do it as well. So how do you do this easily? We talked about a lot of different options today. And by the way, we didn't even talk about loans. We didn't talk about a lot of different credit cards, a lot of other options. It was just mainly revolving credit today, credit lines and credit cards. But let's be honest, it's pretty difficult to navigate all of this. So I just want to give you the fast, easy solution if you want it. Like some people want to take the harder route that takes longer, but other people want the faster, easier route. And here's what this looks like if you put everything together that I've shown you today. Josh, quote, one thing that's beautiful about Credit Suite is that you start with baby steps. The first thing we did is get a couple revolving lines of credit and store credit. Then we graduated to gas cards. Then we ended up getting a very nice line of credit at Amazon. Then we worked our way up to a very, very nice SBA loan. Thanks to Credit Suite, we were able to really get our business finances in order from a what looks good to potential lenders and potential creditors and become very attractive to lenders. The best options are always available to those that have their credit game locked down, and that's what Credit Suite platform allows you to do. We've been able to make smart investments in staffing, marketing systems, sales systems, product development, all these things before Credit Suite we really couldn't do. I just don't have to stress out as much because we've got money in the bank to take advantage of opportunities. I'm not as stressed anymore. I can keep money in the bank. It has plenty of cushion in it. I can keep a bank account that has plenty of cushion in it. And that cushion just honestly makes me a better dad, makes me a better husband because I'm not stressing out. A lot of things I want to go over in this. And the reason I'm showing it to you now, see how he did what I said? He's coming in getting store credit. He's getting fleet credit. He's getting credit lines at retailers, right? Then he grows and builds a business credit profile. Then he moves on and gets SBA. Now, the real story behind him is he had a PR company doing normal PR, and bam, he hit the jackpot. What he found, now that he had the money to figure his way out, was he found this niche in LinkedIn that nobody had really exploited, and how to build massive lead generation campaigns for companies on LinkedIn. So successful that now you can get with Josh and not even pay him up front. He'll earn money off the back after what he does for you works. But it took him a lot of money and time to figure that out. And he used all this money to figure it out, find his niche, find his place, and boom, hockey stick growth to multi-millions of dollars is where he is. The second part of this is the last and most important sentence. And that cushion, just honestly, it makes me a better dad. It makes me a better husband because I'm not stressing out as much. My hair on my arm always stands up, and it always gets me emotional because I've been doing this for a long time, running businesses, right? And the thing I can tell you is that when you have kids, it's really hard to be present with them when you're really stressed. And running a business can be really stressful. And what's nice is that when you have money in the bank, when you have revolving credit, when you have access to credit lines and business credit, you're just not as stressed because you have the leeway. You can make mistakes. You can figure things out. And you have the leeway to be able to do that. And if you've ever had your back against the wall and not have the money, it's harder to be a good spouse, a good partner, a good parent when it's that way, because no matter how much you try to be present, you're just distracted. And that's why I do what I do, to put the money in your hands so you have that experience. So now you can see you can get money with bad credit. You can get it without collateral. You can get money as a startup. You can get your business credit built even if you've just started a business yesterday. You can get it without a personal guarantee. And you're watching this webinar because you probably want the easiest and fastest way to get the money and credit you need to grow. And you probably already struggled before to get access to revolving credit, business credit, even credit lines as well. So how do you do this? Well, I think you should be able to get the money you need when you need it, but not knowing what it takes to get approved, not knowing how to build business credit, not knowing where to get the financing, what you can qualify for, really is holding you back. And that holds most entrepreneurs back. Well, I got a solution in a way that you could do all three of those. You can get the money you need. You can get the business credit that you need. You can actually set your business up where you're fundable, fix the stuff that usually prevents you from getting approved for this kind of stuff to get the most money at the best terms. And it's called the Business Finance Suite. And through it, you basically improve your fundability, you build your business credit so you can access loans or access all different kinds of credit without a guaranteed credit check. And even some that does require a guaranteed credit check, it's easier to get because it is your business credit's established. And you can do this using technology and coaching that we have, as well as getting financing, including loans and credit lines. Now you may be thinking, maybe what we do won't work for you. But remember, anybody can build business credit. You might even be thinking that you can't afford to work with us, but we have some options where it's insanely affordable to work with us. As a matter of fact, it's actually cheaper to work with us than even try to build business credit on your own. And if you only get 32 grand, how much could that mean to your business? I mean, You've heard from people today that got $40,000 approvals in one credit card. We saw $20,000 approvals in one credit card, right? You heard from case study after case study after case study from business owners that built multi-million-dollar businesses and got hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars in credit financing. What if you got none of that? What if you only got 30 grand, 32 grand? I mean, what would that make a difference in your life? I don't know. I mean, that's the question you have to ask, but it's something that a lot of our clients do. And it's why we have so many testimonials, because it does make a big difference in their life. So with us, you're getting cutting edge technology that helps you meet credibility requirements before you apply. We're the only ones that do this. You see, what we figured out helping 50,000 people through this process is that people get denied for really stupid reasons. And they don't know it because lenders don't tell them. If an underwriter tells a front-end banker why the loan got denied, they get fired. That's their policy, because they're trying to prevent fraud. And we forget that. We forget that banks are trying to prevent fraud. We just want them to give us money. So the banking system won't tell us why we got denied, even though it's simple, basic stuff. Our Secretary of State record doesn't match our application. We don't have an EIN set up. We don't have a DUNS number set up. We don't have 2 accounts on our business credit reports. Our address is set up wrong. Our phone number is set up wrong. We walk you through all of that to be able to help you get approved for the most money at the best terms. We help you choose an NAICS code that puts you in a low-risk industry, not a high-risk industry. Most entrepreneurs don't even know what their industry code is. They don't even know what an NAICS code is. But lenders and the credit bureaus use this code to put you in a high-risk category. Then you're out trying to get approved and you don't know why you got denied. And that's why you get denied. So we help fix that problem. We help you set up your business entity, your EIN, set up your business address where it's credible. We help you set up your phone number, and we list it with 411, which will cost you $400 a year nearly. We help you set up your website, your email address, your licenses, your online listings, make sure that it's congruent. Help you set up your bank account, your merchant account the right way where lenders want to give you money. Then we help you get set up with all 3 reporting agencies. We get your DUNS number at no cost. We activate your credit profile at no cost. DMB will try to charge you $1,500 for that. Don't trust me? Just do a Google search. Dun & Bradstreet, FTC. You'll see they just got nailed. The FTC, from what I've said for years, Dun & Bradstreet was doing, they just got ruthlessly punished by the FTC for selling this kind of crap for really expensive prices when it did nothing, which is exactly what I've been saying. I've been saying this for years. Their stuff doesn't work, and yet they're charging thousands. So we help you get the result without you paying them thousands of dollars to do it. We help you repair credit with all 3 reporting agencies, DMB, Equifax, Experian. We give you the largest supply of those starter vendors that report to DMB, Equifax, Experian. We give you the largest supply of store credit, fleet credit, Visa card, MasterCard, cash credit. By the way, this is a revolving credit presentation. So I'm not talking to you about auto financing. We get you auto financing as well without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. We help you get cash flow financing, way more options than we talked about today. Asset-based financing for 2% interest rate and lower. We didn't even talk about a lot of that today. We talk about credit line hybrid. We help you with private money, SBA loans, venture capital. We're speaking at the Sharks and Angels, like Kevin Harrington, Sharks with Shark Tank. And then we talk about angel investors. Like we speak with Angel Investor Network. We're speaking at their presentation this summer. Okay. So we have the connections in the private investor market to be able to get you the connections there. Term loans, lines of credit. We work with grant sources that we can guide you to as well. And when you enroll with us, you're actually getting everything you need, 24/7 access to our finance suite, coaches that walk you through the process, all of the fundability setup. This is what it basically looks like when you're actually coming in and rolling with us to be able to build your business credit and get financing and improve your fundability, nearly 12 grand worth of value. And look, let's be honest, you stuck around here for an hour and a half. I want to make sure that you are rewarded. So I'm going to give you 10 grand worth of real value stuff, like 10,000 in real value stuff for free. Just like if you are interested in getting started. Why am I doing it? Simple. Because I found that people that take action faster get the better results. I want more testimonials. I'm greedy. I don't know. Hundreds isn't enough. I need thousands of people out there in the space that talk about how great we are and what we've done to help them get the results. And to be honest, it's not just the publicity of it. It's the reward. It's taking my buddy like Sam and watching him go from 1 location to 3 and then helping him his partner launch 4, 5, 6, 7. That's really cool. It's the tow truck driver. We helped get her first truck on the road when she wanted 80 grand and we only got her 8. And 6 months later, we got her more money in another truck and another truck and another truck. And she literally watched her build a fleet of trucks. It's my friend Christine, who was a client that struggled everywhere to build business credit, got started with us and went from one truck operation. The last time I talked to her, she was buying a 50 truck operation. It's Dr. Brandon who comes in and is closing his business and then opens a second location and runs for office and gets millions of dollars. I see that. That's my life. And I want more of that success because it's what fuels me to want to help even more people. So I want to give those that are ready to take action a big incentive to be able to do so. So first of all, my really good friend Ray Perez has a Celebritize Your Brand bundle, and it's a 2-day experience with him. And he's also going to give you a 360 website. You can go to tycrandall.360.com to see mine. And it's like a networking. My friends love this thing. I pull up my QR code. It's got my picture on it. Here, you can even, and then I'm going to show there. And then they just, boom, they take a picture and then they upload the contact and I'm in their phone. They absolutely love it. And he's got a 2-day branding workshop. All are free as part of this bonus package. Message Maximizer. A lot of people get their message mismatched with their avatar. Dolores Hirschman, best-selling author, is going to fix that with this course on message maximization. Lifetime access to Message Maximizer with 6-week course by author Dolores Hirschman. Delegate and manage like a beast. Look, you can't grow a business if you handle it all on your shoulders. Most entrepreneurs take it on. They're afraid to move it to somebody else. You got to learn to delegate. You got to learn to outsource. Best-selling author Howard Shore is going to teach you how to delegate and manage like a beast with this $790 value course on human capital management. Entrepreneurial Elite, Gino Wickman, he wrote 2 of the best-selling books, including Traction, and he's giving you 11 different resources, including a 1-2-3 roadmap for startups, My Vision Clarifier, My Business Match, and an extra chapter of his book, along with a bunch of other resources. He's giving all that away as well. Accounting Secrets Blueprint, everything you need to know to get your books right without paying a bookkeeper. And that is by Pam Jordan. 100K Real Estate Payday to be able to make your first $100,000 in real estate by Derek Vaness. Fundability and a flash call to teach you everything you need to do to get your fundability lined up. The first phone call, DMB Equifax Experience for free for 90 days. You go to the bureaus direct, it's $250. It's $750 to get what you're getting right here for free, and 90% discount after that. It's only $24, saves you $2,200 a year on credit monitoring just because you're working with us, and you're going to have to build your business. So we've got something called the Business Builders Bundle with over 30 courses, guides, blueprints, tools for generating leads, branding, marketing, advertising, funnel building, product pricing, social media mastery, viral video marketing, rapid business growth. You find one guru to sell you one of these things, it's $2-3 grand. And we're throwing all of that in as well because we're not here to help you grow your business. We're here to help you get the money to do it, but you still need a lot of teaching along the way. This is going to give you a lot of that. All those courses wrapped up into one, and a multi-million-dollar valuation tool. You can see what your business is worth at any given time and see what it takes to make it worth more money. That's $10,620 worth of bonuses altogether. That's a lot of different stuff. And you're actually able to come in here and get it all for what I think can be really practical. $11,941 worth of value, $10,620 worth of bonuses, over 22 grand in total. And if you get started by Friday, then it's only 7 payments of $597. And if that's not affordable, you can also get one payment with a huge discount of $29.97. If that's not affordable, we will work with you so payments are affordable. We customize payments for you. We have customized payments. We also help you get financing. We work with a source called Credit Key, and they will actually finance it for you. And by the way, a lot of our clients get approved for way more money than our program even cost. Our recent approvals we've seen, I'm not trying to set an anchor in your head because I'm not saying you're going to get this, but we see upwards of $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 initial approvals from them where you could use the money for other stuff as well. So we help you get the financing you need and give you really cheap payments as well. So we've got a lot of different options. We've even got options that aren't available on our website to make it super affordable. And we'll give you everything, access to our tech, access to our reps, with even your first payment to take the risk away. Look, you got to decide between time versus money usually, which is more important to you. With this, you're going to save 18 to 24 months in building business credit. You're going to get max funding. We're to help you stack funding to get even more money. And if you get business credit a year and a half sooner, like Sam did, well, what's that extra 18 months going to mean for you? Plus, it's cheaper to work with us and do it on your own because you don't have to pay for your DUNS number, DMB activation, 411, valuations, all that stuff. And you're getting thousands of dollars of discounts and credit monitoring as well. So it's cheaper to work with us, and it's actually faster results than doing it on your own. And if you want to offer business credit financing as a service, not only do you get all of that stuff as well, but you're also able to get everything you need to launch your own loan broker company and succeed there as well. Our team can talk to you more about that. So here's everything you get when you enroll. And again, a lot of different bonuses, over $10,000 worth of bonuses as well. And if you give us a call, you're going to get these bonuses I mentioned in the first part of this training, including 30 days of free Experian Equifax Dun & Bradstreet, fundability assessment, and a no-cost finance assessment. All you have to do is be able to come in and give us a call, and we're going to get your free assessment. And if you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, you can get started as well by Friday and get all of those bonuses as well. Now, I promised you in the beginning that I was going to stick around and that I was going to make sure that all of your questions are answered. So let's go. Let's do it. I'm sorry. I got my protection animals there. I think I just woke her up. You're supposed to be protecting me, not sleeping anyways. All right. So I'm going to go to the top here. Any questions you have, type them in. Keep in mind, I'm starting from the beginning of this thing. So if you're typing in your question, sometimes people type it in 2 or 3 times because they don't think I saw it. I'm just not to your question yet. So I'm going to make sure that I get to it as well. Hello from Houston's in the house listening. Hi. Thanks everybody for coming in, saying hi. Hey, Ty, can't watch the whole day today, being working and travel, still be able to get your playback. Appreciate it. Hello from Kansas City. Thanks for coming in. Ty, love the program. 10 thumbs up. Thanks, man. I'm glad that you're loving working with us, and I appreciate the shout out. Okay, Free Hive, what's up? I appreciate you sharing this as well. Queens, New York is in the house. Hey, everyone. Thanks for everybody coming in and saying hello. My client needs this. Yes, well, we've got great solutions with the partner program where you can offer it. It's very lucrative. I can't tell you how much money you will make. It depends, but a lot of our partners make $2,000 plus for every sell they make on the business credit financing side. How much you make depends on variables, like how much you sell it for. But just to give you an idea, thanks for opening my eyes to business credit. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that as well. And a lot of shares from our team with all the resources that we talked about today. AJ says, been listening to you for years. You've got a great wealth of knowledge. I really acknowledge I recently created my LLC and D&B. Congratulations, man. Hey, from Michigan. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. I appreciate you coming in and saying hello. We get to a lot. I got a webinar going on and lives. I got things going on simultaneously. Yes, Chris, this is recorded. If you stuck to the end, you'll get the recording tomorrow. Is this an actual teacher? Is this previously recorded? It is an actual teaching. It's live. Today is 2/22, Tuesday, May 17th. So we are definitely real. Okay, I have established business credit and good scores personally and business-wise. Can your team still help my business? Yeah, absolutely can. Look, business credit scores are easy to get, good ones. All you need is one account reported to Equifax or Experian to get them. But what matters is the depth of business credit you build. And I show this in different presentations where I show the more accounts you have on a business credit report, the higher the recommendation of credit from the credit bureaus. So the key isn't to get a good business credit score. The key is to build your business credit. And if you're not getting 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 limit accounts, retail credit, auto financing, Visa card, MasterCard, then yeah, we can definitely still help you even if you've got some initial success. Hello, Kansas City, Missouri coming in. He's too busy for a live. Yeah, nope. Oh, wait, Romeo called me a scam. That wasn't very nice of Romeo. Look here, I want to show you guys. Look, this is nice. He says he's too busy for a live scam. That wasn't very nice, Romeo. I didn't mean to. This is definitely live and not a scam. See that? See what happens when you try to just give freely? People just are mean to you. I don't know what the deal is. Hey, what's up, Kansas City? Ty's been in space for years. Paul, look, see, this is what happens. I love my life. Then Paul says, he's not a scam. He's been speaking. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that coming in and defending me. That was very nice of you. Hello from St. Louis. Brian says, yes, it seems that shift has got a lot of people frightened, not only in the business side, but personal as well. It definitely is. And this really speaks to inflation. It speaks to recession. It speaks to a lot of things that are going on. And when people get scared, understand what causes recession is that consumer confidence pulls back. People lose confidence. Then they start hoarding their money because they're afraid to spend it. Then a lot of the products and services we sell don't sell as much as a result of that. So that's exactly what happens there. Okay, great day from Houston, Texas. I just know there's going to be a nifty place to hit for all this. Buenos dias, para Mexico, looking for the golden nugget in business funding. I hope I gave you the golden nugget here, Jeff. As you guys can see, I'm literally scrolling through the comments as we go. Hey, thanks. Hello. Hopefully this isn't just for people that have been in business for a while. No, we talked about startup funding as well. Are you for real? Yes, I am for real. Why does everybody think I'm not for real? I feel like I'm real. I feel like I am. I'm in the process of opening my business now. That's awesome. We can help you with any aspect of that of this training. Hopefully help you. Are there options for a startup where the owner has money in the IRA? Yes, we talked about that as well. See that? We talked about that before you even or after you asked the question. It's like I did that just for you. I have Funbox, but only have 1,500. Yes, this is based on your revenue. And all you have to do is go back and apply for more. If you have even 1 year's tax returns and give it to them, they'll typically bump that up pretty high. Loving this. Any funding for equipment to start a business? Lots of funding. Today was revolving credit day, but there's equipment financing and equipment leasing as well. Equipment financing you can get as a startup. Leasing, you got to be in business about a year or more, so you can get all that as well. How do you apply for Credit Line Hybrid? Give us a call. Here's our phone number. If you simply give us a call, we can get you applied there. Got kicked out back now. Yay, Jay made it back. That's a whole life cash life policy. Yeah, see, a lot of people are attaching on that strategy we talked about. Okay, so basically nothing for new business. Yeah, there's a lot. Open up at least. Remember, we talked about stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, financing. We talked about 6 different kinds of business credit building accounts. We talked about Credit Line Hybrid as well. We talked about a bunch of other stuff, I think, in between as well. So a lot of funding we talked about for startups. Okay, so he said this earlier. So we talked about a lot of that as well. Funding for equipment for startups, just to address that. How can we get the recording? You stay to the end. You're going to be sent the recording. Haven't seen the option of brand new business. We talked about a lot of that as well. How does a daycare provider establish business credit? Exactly the same way anybody does. It works for any industry the same. All you have to do is give us a call. We can get you started. Tips, tactics. Even if you have some established, we can even get your business credit reports for you, no cost. All you have to do is give us a ring. You'll not qualify for cards if you're a new business owner. I promise I apply for them. Yeah, fleet credit cards you actually can, but in the beginning you have to get a guarantee and a deposit. So if you're starting building business credit with fleet credit, and that's why we tier our business credit building, our clients build it in tiers. And fleet is further tiers where they already have some established credit. But you can get it in the beginning. They just want a deposit. That's the difference between getting it in the beginning or in the end. Okay. Broke mindset will keep you broke. Price you pay will get you the opportunity to make cheddar and change the way you see things. It ain't free. I love that, Roderick. Man, that's pretty. Look at that. Look at this. Let's hear how expensive this is. Jamal, I love you guys. This is perfect. But this is how I see things too, is that you'll learn about me that I do something that I don't think you're going to find very few people do. I give you a lot of information for free. So you can take my training for free and go and succeed, and you will succeed. You won't get as much of a result, and you won't get it as fast, obviously. And then I give you a paid path. Like if you want to work with my team where we do this every day, then of course you get faster, better results. But my goal is to help you succeed getting money. So what a lot of people don't understand about how I work is that I feel that if your real goal is to help people, then you should help people for free. And then, the people that are willing to pay, you get them phenomenally better results because they're paying for those. So hopefully you got both. You came those that don't want to spend money, you're here today. You got a bunch of stuff for free. And those that see it like Roderick does here for the opportunity, then you want the faster, better results, and you have that path as well. So you've got great 2 different paths. Great info. Thanks, Kimberly. Just enrolled last Thursday. Yeah, can you get those bonuses? Jesse, call whoever it was you enrolled, and we'll talk to you about that. Don't see questions. I was driving. How may I listen again? You will get the playback of this. Roderick, I hear it good when it comes to, okay, we got all that. Okay, can you show again what's included in the business package? Okay, so here, when you're working with us, this is, there you go. That's everything that you're getting when you're working with us. So you can kind of take a look at that as well. What if you have bad business credit? We can help you fix that. So part of our package is we fix business credit with all 3 reporting agencies. What about lines of credit against crypto? I don't know of anything about that yet. There's nothing I know about that program exists, but I love the question. And what I'm going to do, I got the wrong thing here. I got multiple chats going on, but you have the wrong question, but I love the question, and I am going to look in to see if there is a possible there, to see if that's possible. So you're saying we can offer Credit Suite as a business? Yeah, you can offer it white label in your own name. It's called our partner program. If you go to creditsuite.com, you can actually look at our pricing options and see everything you get. We give you a year's worth of email content, social media content, free reports, ebooks, guides, PowerPoint presentations, years worth of training. We have I do a private webinar that I've done for 12 years. Only for our partners as well. Back office to management. You can buy finance suites wholesale, sell them retail, make money on financing. We're the biggest provider for loan brokers in the space. So yes, all you have to do is give us a call and we can talk to you a little bit more about that as well. I'm going to go through and get all this and get back to that phone number. Oops, so you have the phone number there as well. Okay, and again, just getting everybody's questions. Where are all these questions? We got a lot of the questions being asked are in the chat. They're in the question and answer on the webinar, and they're on the live streams. I already have DNB and NAV. Should I cancel them if I join? Talk to your advisor. Our advisor. Look, I'll be the first to tell you our advisors are better to help you, but I wouldn't pay for DNB. You don't need DNB. That would, as a matter of fact, just so you know, you need to Google. Well, go to go to youtube.com/credit suite and look at Dun & Bradstreet, and you'll see my webinar on this. My webinar on this teaches you how to get a refund from Dun & Bradstreet. So not only should you cancel them, you can now get a refund for what you paid them because of the FTC when they came down on them. I did a whole webinar training on that. So not only can you cancel them because you don't need them, but you also will get a refund for that as well. I have a business, had to start all over, have an EIN, 4 Amex cards, 1 Capital One, personal credit's low, 700s, have good NAV, but I can't get a line of credit for my business growth. I need business line of credit. Who can I apply for? Just give us a call. We can tell you specifically, but in my opinion, credit line hybrid would be really good for you. SBA or alternative SBA could work really well for you as well. How do you use your EIN rather than SSN on applications you don't? SSN is required now as of June of like 2018. I think it's now been 4 years because the government requires it for verification to prevent money laundering. But if you do it right, you can apply, put your social, and not have them do a credit check or guarantee. You just have to stipulate that I'm not providing this information, authorizing a guarantee or credit check, only for verification purposes. Used to be you didn't have to put your social on the app, but that changed in 2018. Okay, you guys are talking to each other there. I have established all except address and phone number. Want to buy a new business that requires capital. Can you help with a startup for 1.3 million purchase price? Absolutely. I mean, we can talk to you a little bit more about that. Give us a call. We'll talk about your unique situation. Remember, your business doesn't matter when it comes to SBA loans for acquisitions. What matters is the business you're buying. So you can get the SBA loan to buy the business you're buying. It doesn't matter what business you have now. And you can get usually upwards of 90% financing against to be able to buy it. And then seller held financing, a bunch of other funding to fill that gap. Do you help with removing hard inquiries? We don't. But yes, we've got a funding source that helps the credit line hybrid do that for unauthorized inquiries, so we can give you a referral there. Okay, Houston Day. Craig, great info as always, Ty. I love the passion. You've been helping business owners. Securities-based line of credit is a good fit for one of my clients. Awesome. Do inquiries into your business credit using your EIN affect your business? They do not. They have no impact on your score because you can't control them. Like business credits are publicly available, so anybody that wants it can get it. And so because of that, inquiries have zero impact on any of your business credit score. I qualify for $3,500 of credit. Yeah, I have 2-tier accounts. Credit score is low due to utilization and latest. I have 1 fleet card and Staples revolving. Any way to get lines of credit in this position? I have low revenues coming to the bank. If you got credit key that you might be working with us, give us a call, give your advisor a call, or give us a call. We'll talk through your unique situation because the problem is there's just not enough info here. I don't have enough info to see which credit line you'll fit into. We've got to have more individual questions to be able to figure that out. Do net 30s build business credit if they report to the reporting agencies? Great question, Shanice, because over 90% of accounts don't report to business credit reporting agencies. Revolving and net accounts, if they come from a vendor that does report, you're solid, but it just matters on if that vendor reports or if they don't. Okay, is the business credit building something you can build within Credit Suite? Yes. That is something that we do, as we just talked about there. Can I use the card to basically live on until the business is highly profitable? That's up to you. You know, when it comes to revolving credit lines and credit cards, unlike SBA loans, they're not asking what you're using money for. So that's typically something you could do. Do you have an affiliate program? We do. We have a partner program where you make a lot more money offering business credit financing. Talk to us about that. You can also go to creditsuite.com/affiliate for our free affiliate program. Hi, does a business credit line of credit require personal guarantee? The credit line hybrid does, but a lot of the business credit that we talked about today absolutely doesn't. I'm going to go back up here, go back to my live stream, make sure that I got everything answered there. Hey, from Michigan, I want to sign up. All you have to do is go to creditsuite.com/webinar. You can grab the bonuses as well. I love that. Look forward to working with you. Amen, brother. My God bless you abundantly. Oh, thanks, AJ. I appreciate that, man. Can you help me finance this course, then pay you back with no pop Rob L? Oh, that's your email. Don't know my credit score. Yeah, we can help you with financing it. That's not a problem at all. All you have to do is just give us a call. Okay, give us a call on our team. I can't get your email from here. More than likely, I'm not going to be able to successfully get your email from here. I'll try to take a picture if it's kind of not even coming across here clearly here. But give us a call, send us an email. We'll make sure you're taken care of. I love it when people finally find you and learn who everyone else has been learning from. I think it's funny. AJ, it is true. I know that's true too. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all coming in. Okay, security lines of credit. Does the strategy work? We talked about that for OTC or pink sheet stocks. Yeah, it works for most kind of stocks. I'm not 100% positive on pink sheets, and I like to answer questions I'm not 100% positive of. But if you give us a call or send us an email, I'll get you to my funding team, and they can ask our actual funder about pink sheet stocks. I'm just not 100% positive on that one type. Okay, and answer live. Done. We talked about crypto. Done. What if you have bad business credit? We talked about that as well. We could definitely help fix that. Hi, I have an established business with established business credit already. How hard will it be to get credit lines? Again, it's not hard. It just depends on, do you have a strength, cash flow credit, or collateral? And if not, then we want to talk about business credit building. My personal credit's bad. I've been in business over 5 years, done over 600K in business many years. Recent income has gone down. Yeah, we can still help. I mean, that's definitely a situation. We talked about solutions today that will work for you. Give us a call. We'll find out what's the best fit. My Chase Inc. was closed because of my personal credit. That happens oftentimes. And you shouldn't be using your Chase Inc. card to fund your business anyways. It's what business credit's for. So again, the nice thing about business and personal credits, they're separate. So when you do this the right way, we can build a credit profile for your business so your personal credit's not damaged based on what's happening in your business and vice versa. And that will fix that problem that you have, Adrian. So hopefully that helps you there. What can you do when creditors are not reporting? I've established a Quill and you on no reporting. The reason for that is because if you haven't done your fundability right, then they're going to make you do 3 prepaid orders first, and it will take you 90 days for those sources to actually report the credit. Now, you can call them directly, but that's what I found helping 50,000 people through the process. If your fundability isn't set up right, and that's something we didn't talk about today in depth, but it's something we help our clients through, and we've got training on YouTube as well, then what happens is they will then oftentimes make you do 3 prepaid orders. And by the way, this is notorious for Quill. That's why we don't use Quill as a starter vendor anymore. And it's what happens when you're using public information instead of like going through our kind of program. Not self-promoting here, but it is real. Is that you went and got Quill. Somebody you read, saw, somebody said, even me in an older training, that Quill was a great starter vendor. Then they became a bad starter vendor. We moved them to like tier 3 because now they make you have accounts reporting before they'll even report it on your business credit reports. So it could be because of your fundability. It could be with Quill because you don't have accounts on your business credit reports outside of that, and they haven't approved you. And that's what happens. Now you're sitting there waiting for them to report. And by the way, this is an exact example of why business credit takes way longer for most people than it's not. You went and got Quill. Quill isn't reporting. You're waiting for Quill to report, and it won't report. And you wait a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you blew all that time because of just bad information, because Quill is not a starter vendor. Do you help with hard inquiries? We talked about that as well. Okay, wow, you are really live. You answered my question. I did join on Friday. I already got approved for 3 accounts. What? Look at this. This is awesome. Yes, I am live. See, next time you'll have to be like I don't know if you see like those things that to verify. Like, put your right hand on your head. Anyways, but yes, I'm definitely live. And Letta, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the program. So you joined on Friday, and you've already got approved for your first 3 accounts. Congratulations. And you're moving to tier 2. Wow. So you did fundability already. You got tier 1 starter vendors. Then you're all ready to retail credit. So I can't make this stuff up. You see what's happening. This is a real comment on the webinar. So it just goes to show these real testimonials unfolding during this training. This is what happens. Like, I mean, these are people that are getting these kind of results, so you can actually see what's possible for your business You are an expert in this field, no doubt. I appreciate that, AJ. Thank you very much. And contact. I got help and I was approved and funded 5 days after. That's awesome. Okay, so let me read this again. I got help and I was approved and funded 5 days after this method. He can be of great help if you reach out. I appreciate that. Yes, this is U.S. only. We can really only help you if you have a U.S.-based business. You don't have to live in the United States, though. As long as you have a U.S.-based business, then it's something we can typically help. And let me see if I have any other questions, because so far I'm getting near the end here of questions. I think I did all that, but hi, does okay. Hi, I'm helping the FedEx contractor clients vehicle lease. Okay, so let's go into this. Okay, so I'm able to help my FedEx contractor clients with vehicle leases. I invested last Thursday with the Ultimate Program. Congratulations. Auto financing is very prevalent. We help through Toyota, through GM, through Ford, through Ally, amongst other sources. So we have 5 or more different sources you can get auto financing. So it's going to work very well with your equipment, your clients. I need help with equipment funding. That's easy. Give us a call. We've got more equipment funders than any other type of funding program, so that should be easy. I'm already part of the team. All right, and I want to talk to you because I seen you with the Regions. Do you have an email? Go to info@creditsuite.com or talk to the rep that brought you in. If you enrolled with us, then there is a way you can get one-on-one or get a coaching session with me. You just have to talk to the person that actually enrolled you initially. Hi, I'm in the process of building an online banking all-on currency form, including crypto. I have the resources to build the mobile app. Not the funding, more of my concern, need the financial backing. Well, a lot of options we talked about today, or just give us a call. We can do a finance assessment to see what we can help you with as well. Jamal says, Quill, Uline, Granger, Sumo Office. Those are the vendors I'm using. They're reporting, but kind of delayed. Yeah, and that's the other thing is our finance suite tells you when things report, because the problem is some of them report quarterly, some report monthly. So I see this all the time where people are like, hey, the funding, the reporting is delayed. It's not delayed. You just oftentimes get credit with sources that take 90 days to report versus 30. Can small medical collections affect fundability? Yeah, on your personal credit reports, they potentially can. Yeah. But if they're on your business credit reports, they wouldn't be, then it wouldn't be any kind of issues. And I have a trucking company with one truck trying to grow accordingly. We can help you with that. I mean, if you look, we've got financing to be able to get fuel cards, even though WEX is out temporarily, permanently, we don't know. And we also can help. We have use equipment financing to help you buy trucks. I can tell you story after story after story. I told 2 today. One of our clients that got a tow truck and built a fleet from one with our funding. The other, Christine, went from 1 truck. The last time I checked, she was looking at a 50 truck operation with our funding. I can go on and on and on. Trucking is one of the top 3 industries that we help. So we can absolutely help you there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. So hopefully, definitely need the financing info. Jamal, we can help you. Just a lot of you are trying to run individual scenarios through here. I can't help you there. There's so many questions I need to ask to determine what funding you can get. But here's the great news. It's free to find out. Just give us a call. We've got a team that'll do a finance assessment and figure a lot of the stuff out for you. So we're here to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Hopefully you got a lot of info. Like I said, it's how I work. A lot of free info. If you want the faster, easier path, work with us. Either way, I just want you to succeed as a business owner and then share your results. That's what's important to me. But of course, like anything, it is faster, easier if you're working with us. So if you are interested in working with us, it's cheaper and easier to do so. We'll make it ridiculously affordable because we have options to finance it for you. We've got off website prices that we don't even talk about. All kinds of options. And don't forget, if you are getting started by Friday, you're getting 10 grand worth of bonuses. And I'm not talking about, oh, this is worth $5,000. I mean, real value, 10 grand worth of bonuses. And you're getting it when you enroll by the end of the day, Friday, like the clock strikes midnight. You're still able to get those bonuses. If you go to the webinar page, probably a countdown timer there. And even if you're not getting started with this, give us a call for a free finance assessment. We can do a fundability check. We can get your business credit reports. We'll give you tips and tactics to build your business credit. We'll help you get a financing assessment to know all the money you can get. It's all 100% free. Give us a call. If you want to get started, creditsuite.com/webinar, or give us a call. And then we're able to talk to you more about getting started as well. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you very much for tuning in. I have made sure that all of the questions that I see here are answered. I have one more. It may have been Wednesday, but definitely last week I compiled all the steps, the best investment. I think I like that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that again. I completed all the steps, the best investment that I made, professional staff, easy steps. Now, and guys, like I said, I'll make the stuff up. I mean, you can see what it's like for people that enroll. This is somebody that enrolled last week, already has 3 accounts. I completed all the steps. The best investment that I made. I can't make this stuff up. Right there's, her quote. And Leda, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Thank you for that. Professional staff, easy steps. I own a trucking company. And that was something that came up. So Courtney, you can see that she's already getting success here with owning a trucking company. So you can see how real this is. So I'd love to work with you. Please give us a call, credit or 877-600-2487 for the free assessment, or even to work with us on any questions that you may have. Is the staff in the U.S.? We're kind of all over. We've got staff in Venezuela as well. We've got staff in the Philippines. We've got most of our staff's in the United States. Yeah, the vast majority of our staff is U.S. based, and even in the United States, we're like spread out all over the country. And Nelson says, if I want to buy residential assisted living facilities but have bad personal credit, I am an active director and licensed assistant living admin. Nelson, here's the real deal with that. You're good. SBA financing is out with that credit. You can't get it. There are other options to work through, and Roland Fraser has a great program called Epic, and you can look it up online, Roland Fraser Epic, on how to do these deals with no money down. I'd look at Roland's program. It's exactly what you need to do exactly what it is you're trying to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. But you said, how can how can we get the recording? If you stay to the end of this, tomorrow we'll email you the recording anyways. You're on the webinar. We'll email you the recording. You'll get it tomorrow. So everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to give us a call for your free finance assessment or to talk more about working with us. I really enjoyed having everybody on, and I look forward to seeing you on our next training where we talk about more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business. Again, thanks for tuning in. Take care. Have a great